Hi, welcome to lesson 11 in the exact process for setting up Google Analytics by the quantified web. And in today's lesson, we're going to go through setting up lowercase filters and crawler spam filters. So these improve the accuracy of Google Analytics so that hopefully you can trust the information that you have in there. So if you want to see this lesson, just come through to www.thequantifiedweb.com/exactga, put in your email address and click on Get Started Today. Once you're in, you want to scroll down to Add Lowercase and Crawler Spam Filters. Alrighty, now we've got a little warning here. My team member put that in. This little warning sign is just pointing out that the data that's being entered in this procedure really needs to be spelt the same. It needs to have the same capitalization and spelling and spaces as the text in the procedure. So I would say that there's been several situations where my team member attempted to type it in but didn't get the spacing quite right. And if you're not a programmer, then you wouldn't necessarily realise the reason for some of the things in here. So I'll try and explain it as best as I can, but if you're copying and pasting, do make sure that you enter it correctly. Alrighty, so now what we want to be doing is going into our admin settings. So far we've been doing most things in admin. And we want to go into the filtered data no params view. So if you have joined us here, we created this view earlier in the course. And we want to go to the filters page and click on add filter. Alrighty. So we want to copy this text. And we want to paste it into filter name. And then we are going to set up a custom filter. I'm going to choose, that was supposed to be, basically put a circle in lowercase. Okay, and choose or paste request URI into here. So I made the filter name the same name as the thing that we were pasting in, so then you only have to cut the same thing once and paste it twice. Just makes it a bit more efficient. All right, so what we're doing here is we are setting the request URI to lowercase. Now the request URI, I don't need that one anymore. The request URI is actually the page data. Now the reason that we want this to be lowercase is if it was not set to lowercase, then someone could manually type this in, or even you might have some web pages that have different capitalization on your own website, and each one of those would count as different pages in your Google Analytics, even though it was supposed to be the same page. So this lowercase filter will make sure that no matter what capitalization someone puts in, you will still be able to see it as the same page. All right, so we can verify this one. So if you click on verify this filter, and you can see here is an example where on the left-hand side, there was a page that had capital letters and things in there. And after we have applied this filter, it would have lowercase instead. Now this particular one actually is a Facebook ID. So we're going to be filtering some of these out, but you can see an example of what it will be doing. So if the page has uppercase letters in there as well, then it would count as more than one page if there was a different combination. But now that we're going to be setting it all as lowercase, there won't be any abnormalities in terms of how many people viewed different pages. So, okay, so we do want to just check that we've done things right though. So if you get a verification saying the filter would not have changed your data, then it's fine and you can click save. Now, if you do get a result like this, then it could be fine as well. So we just want to check that the result is in fact what we were expecting, which is lowercase, which it is. So we're happy with that. We can click save. Now we actually want to do the same with all of these other fields. So I'm going to, actually I think I'll just do it and we'll put it on fast forward or something. Alrighty, so just to explain what all these different things were, the campaign medium explains the way in which a campaign was sent. So a medium could include email, for example. The search term would be any term that was used on your website to search for a page. So obviously people can capitalize that in any way they want, so it's important to make that lowercase. The campaign source, now this one will be whereabouts on the internet people came from. So this might include Facebook, or it might be Instagram or Pinterest, or it can be referral, or you might even override it and set your own source. And actually this is interesting because if you are a marketing agency, or if you use a marketing agency, you might find that the capitalization can be different if you overrode it, and therefore you'd have like a Facebook with a capital F and then a Facebook with a lowercase f. So this will aggregate them together. All right, so the campaign name would be, if you had a actual, we'll go back to 10 and stuff, if you had an actual paid campaign, then you might have an actual name of a campaign. And then if you had, again, if you had a paid campaign, you might have a term in your campaign that indicates what the specific campaign was. The campaign referral path would be the actual, that'll be the host name of the host name of the page that the campaign points to. All right, so just copy and paste all of these different fields into the Google Analytics filter like I showed you, and set them all to lowercase. Now, the next thing we want to do is create the crawler spam filters. So let's add a filter again. And we want to name this one crawler spam number 1. All right, now we want to set these to custom. And we want to choose exclude. And then we want to choose campaign source in here. Exclude campaign source. Sorry, exclude, not in there. One in here. Exclude campaign source. And then the filter pattern Now, you're not going to be able to go here because that's one of my private web pages. So what I've done for the time being, I've put in a picture, but that's not going to be really helpful. What I'll plan to do is I'll take it off this private wiki that I've got, and I'm going to put it into a text file. But in the meantime, I'll just go to Confluence myself and I'll copy it over. Okay. So you just won't have access to my Confluence, that's all. So I'm just going to have to move it to a text file. So I don't think it will hurt you to see it. Basically, what I've got here is I've got a whole bunch of spam filters that we're going to copy in. So we're just literally copying it and pasting it in. Alrighty, so I've copied it in the first one, and I think I'm going to hit verify. Yep. Yep, now it says this filter would not have changed your data, which means that the person wasn't being spammed who I'm setting this up for. But if it says that it was going to change your data, then you might have already been hit by one of these spammers. And so you should be able to just save that. Let me just check. Yep. Now we're just going to do the other filters, so the other spammers. Basically, we're just going to repeat it again. So I'll just quickly do it, and again, it'll fast forward. Alrighty, now we're adding new crawler spam to our list all the time. So in order to have the most up-to-date list, then you would want to come back and check on this later. And when I've actually linked through to another document other than my Confluence website, then you'll want to keep up with the latest spam filters. Alrighty, well, hopefully that is helpful to you. You should now have several different, if you look at your filters, you should now have several different filters. You should have a whole lot of lowercase ones and these exclude ones, which are excluding spam. And this will make difference in terms of improving the accuracy of your Google Analytics. So the next thing that we're going to go through is the remove all parameters filter, and that's where we remove trailing parameters that cause your page views to get split up inaccurately. All right, I'll see you on that lesson.